What's going on, everybody? B. Scott, I'm here with
Godzilla.
And on today's show, we're bringing you the matchups. Ahead of Week 7, we're going to go through every single matchup, give you our picks and game predictions for every single matchup in Week 7 with the spreads and all that good stuff. So, keep locked and loaded right here at the first 4 downs.
You already know what it is. Week 7, let's get it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. B. Scott, G.O.D. here, and we're going over the matchups.
Yeah.
Heading to Week 7, we're going to give you our game picks and predictions on how these games are going to turn out. Lots of guys on bye. Big name teams. So we're going to be looking at every single matchup. Lots of close games this week, to be honest, and some just complete blowouts. Lots of big spreads as well. So before we get to today's content, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, all that good stuff, and then comment. If there's any discrepancy with any matchups or anything you want to hear about, fantasy related, NFL related, drop it in the comment section. We'll be glad to get back to you. So let's start with the first matchup we're going to be looking at, the Cincinnati Bengals on the road against Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore favored at -6.5. The over-under at 46.5. And honestly, this is a big divisional matchup. Plain and simple, the Cincinnati Bengals coming off a big win, destroyed the Detroit Lions. And then Baltimore Ravens, they're coming off an even bigger win.
Yeah.
Destroyed the Los Angeles Chargers. So in this game, obviously, I'm going to pick the Baltimore Ravens, the favorites at home. They're favored by 6.5. Now, I don't necessarily love the line, to be honest, because I think this game's going to be pretty close. Now, yes, can the Baltimore Ravens beat the Bengals by 6.5? Yes, I do believe they can. But I think the Bengals are playing pretty good football, to be honest. Overall, they're very well rounded on offense and defense. Their defense has been much improved. And I like the Baltimore Ravens on the money line. That's where I would probably take this game. And I like the under at 46.5 because I think both these defenses are going to show up at least to some extent. And I don't think there's going to be a great amount of points to be had here. So for me, I got the Baltimore Ravens winning by a field goal, 24-21.
Yeah, I like how Cincinnati's been playing. They seem to be well put together. But on the road, they play a little bit timid, what I mean, at times.
Yeah.
So, it's good that they got the safeties back and everything like that. But I feel like Baltimore's playing at a different level right now. You look at what they did against the LA Chargers,
Yes.
A top 10 ranked team last week, held them to 6 points, and I don't see really too much that Cincinnati can do to go over 17 points in this game. I'm taking Baltimore with the point, 6.5. Obviously, I think they win by a touchdown easily here. You look at Latavius Murray being out of his matchup. I think this is a huge thing for the Baltimore Ravens. They're used to that pop with J.K. Dobbins, you know what I'm saying, Gus Edwards, these guys. And you got Devontae Freeman obviously starting in this one. Since he's been signed, he has shown a little bit more burst.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
I would
that's
agree with you.
exactly what they need on this team. And I think they win handily, by a touchdown easy. You got Rashard Bateman in the second game, and, hopefully he can make a little bit more plays against his team. I think Lamar Jackson's going to do his thing, man. I got it. It could probably be over to 46 and a half, like 47 points, but I got Baltimore at home.
Okay, I like the money line just because I think in a divisional matchup it could be a little bit closer now. Could I see Baltimore winning by over a touchdown? Of course. They've been able to show and prove that they can beat good football teams. So we're both on Baltimore there.
That's fair.
So let's move on to the next matchup. We got the Washington football team on the road against Green Bay Packers. Green Bay -8.5. The over/under is 48.5 in this game. I like the over because as the Packers defense has played pretty well on the season, they're not, in my opinion, game breaking. I don't think. Washington football team, I think their offense is good, but their defense is horrible. We know this by their defense, giving up over 30 points per game.
Yeah.
And the Green Bay
Can't
Packers
win games like that.
are playing completely sound, coming off a big win against the Chicago Bears. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers owns a share of the Bears. That's what Tom Brady even mentioned in his press conference. He was like, you know what? Aaron Rodgers, he mentioned that he owns a share of the Bears because, he absolutely owns them.
Yeah.
That was pretty hilarious in my opinion. But, yeah, the Green Bay Packers to beat the Bears handedly by 10 points. They're favored here at 8.5, and I'm going to take the 8.5 even because I think the Washington football team's defense just has not been able to show up. And every single week I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, thinking that maybe it's their week. Maybe it's their week. It's not. And it continues to show. And I got this game, Green Bay 31, Washington football team 20 points. I got them beating them by 11 points, and I like the over in this game.
Yeah, Washington. I mean, that 8.5 is very rich, and it'll be rich for any other game except for this one.
Yeah.
You look at Washington, the NFC East division champions in 2020. They're not looking like that at all.
No.
They're only playing very well against division foes, and to be honest with you, on the road they're playing pretty terrible. So you go into Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers, who outside of Week 1, 5-1. You know what I'm saying, on the season. You know what I mean, like.
They're getting.
I don't think they're going to beat them here. 8.5 is a really tough one, but the money line is too rich for my blood, so I'm going to take the 8.5 and hope they win by 3 field goals or at least 10 points here. And I think they can do it.
Yeah.
Mason Crosby been up and down in this game, but I think this is a game where Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon can take advantage in this game and really control the clock and reduce a lot of that garbage time that Washington can't put up. Heineke, he's been great in garbage time.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that's necessarily going to be there. You talk about Antonio Gibson. The thing about Antonio Gibson I don't understand is going on is the fact that he's running on a broken leg. I don't know if they figured that for a running back, if a broken leg is a bad thing or not. Guess what it is? And it's only a matter of time for that thing to show his ugly face. But hopefully it's not in this game, in the cold, in a Lambeau Field. But I got Green Bay 8.5.
Okay. Yeah, we're both on the same boat in Green Bay. Antonio Gibson, in my opinion, they should just place him on IR and give him some rest.
Yeah, and also, since Week 1, Green Bay 5-1 against the spread as well.
Yes.
So I'm liking Green Bay as the favorite in this game.
Of course, 8.5 is a big number, but I think they're going to be able to cover here. They beat the Bears last week by 10. I think they'll be able to do it here. So we'll move on to the next matchup.
Yeah.
This is almost a pick. I'm plain and simple. Atlanta Falcons on the road against Miami Dolphins. Atlanta Falcons favored by 2.5 coming out of the bye. 47.5 over under.
This game, I don't understand it.
Look, okay, so Miami, if their defense gets healthy, this is my thing where I'm the reason I'm picking Miami at the plus 2.5, and I would buy a point. I like the 3.5 personally, but the reason I'm picking this is Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. Both these guys have been limited in practice. Hopefully, they're ready to go. If they see the field, they could help the secondary enough, and I don't think the Atlanta Falcons have a strong enough run game. Mike Davis just hasn't really proved his worth at all. Cordero Patterson's doing his work, albeit better in the pass game. I think the Miami Dolphins could keep this game close. I really do, especially at home. And that's why I like the 3.5, because for me, I think it's going to be an under game. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of points, even though both these defenses have really struggled. Miami's got to win this game, don't you think? I mean, Miami's got to win some games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my score, I got the Atlanta Falcons pulling it out by 1 point, 24-23, Atlanta Falcons.
Dolphins, Falcons. I mean, if we went into the season, we wouldn't. I mean, like, what is Miami doing offense? We don't know at this point. What is the Falcons doing offense? Cordell Patterson. If we knew that was going to be the whole offense, how can we predict where they would be? You know what I'm saying, or where they would finish at all? You know what I mean? I think this is a toss-up game, and like you said, if the defense shows up in this game, maybe Miami could take this game away from them. You know what I mean? You look at all the trade rumors around Tua Tagovailoa right now, and I don't know if he is like up to par to even play, or that just builds another fire inside him to go burn it up. You know what I mean? Him not having the team's backing, like he's not even the captain on the team. Of course, they don't want you here. You know what I mean? So it's really tough. That line 2.5 is like, come on, who's gonna win by a field goal?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Miami home dog, and that's it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'll probably stay away from this game betting completely.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I just really don't even know. With an average line, 47.5, I'm gonna just take Miami at home because they have to win the game.
Okay. I have it just a shade under, like I said, at 47, and I'm in the same boat. I really think Miami needs the game more than Atlanta because we know Atlanta's not going anywhere anytime soon. They're not going to improve with Matt Ryan. They're almost in the same boat as the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whereas, in my opinion,
they're worse than the Steelers.
What I'm saying is, in my opinion, it's over for Matt Ryan. As good as he can play, even now, throughout his career, I think it's over for them to make a playoff run and any push like that. So it's almost time for them to rebuild altogether. But I like the Miami Dolphins.
Hey, maybe the Steelers should just trade for Matt Ryan.
I know.
Maybe it'll work out.
Yeah, it might. So we'll move on to the next game. The New York Jets on the road against the New England Patriots.
Oh my God, I got a bad feeling about
favored
this
by 7.5, minus 7.5 New England. 42.5 over under. I'm going to take the under in this game. I have to. because I don't think the Jets are going to put up a lot of points. That it is what it is. So 7.5. I'm going to take New England at home. They've lost a couple of heartbreakers. They lost to the Dallas Cowboys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both in very close games at home. And I just don't see the Jets. I mean, I get it. They're coming out of a bye. Maybe they get some momentum going, but I thought they would have had some off the Titans win. And then they just get spanked by the Falcons in London. So then they get their nice vacation in London, an extra week. And now they got to go into New England and face the Patriots. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one. I got the score 25-16. Patriots are going to cover that spread at 7.5.
42.5 over and under in this game. I'm going to say it's going to be over.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this. This is a tough matchup, right? You know what I mean? It really is. If you think about divisional games and the prowess that these guys play against each other. And in the past, I've seen the Jets come in there and beat them at home sometimes. I don't know. 7.5. I'm not buying that right now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I could agree. If you want to buy a point down to 6.5 and hope they clear a touchdown, but
when you come off the bye, the target dispersion, you know what I'm saying, pretty much gets adjusted. You know what I mean? So outside of Corey Davis, maybe Jamison Crowder sees a lot more work. Maybe a couple of these guys step up and make catches. You know what I mean? Because the offense, as a talent standpoint, they're not that far off. But I'm gonna just pick an upset. I'm going to take moneyline New York Jets.
Okay.
I just feel it's going to happen.
Okay.
This week. I don't know. I do not believe in the Patriots at all right now. They are 0-3 at home right now. So, yeah, and you already look at it. In divisional matchups, they pretty much split these kind of games. So, the Patriots already won. I'm going to give the Jets this one at home.
Okay.
I mean, on the road.
Yeah, I got you. That's fine. We're split on that one because I just think the New England Patriots, and that's the worst part.
They should. The Patriots should win this game.
The defense gave up the most yards ever to a passing quarterback. Dak Prescott last week at 450, 55, I think, under Bill Belichick ever. And it's crazy to think about because the defense was supposed to be the strong suit, and honestly, they just haven't played very well. But I think I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt at home. They got to get a victory here, and I will take the 7.5, even though I don't necessarily love it. Maybe you buy a point to 6.5, they win by a touchdown. So we'll move on to the next game. Carolina Panthers on the road against the New York Football Giants. Carolina -3.5. The over-under in this game is 43. I have it under because I think the New York Giants are going to struggle scoring points. Plain and simple. I like Carolina in this game. Even the 3.5, I'll buy it. If you want to buy a point just to save your butt for a field goal, I understand. But I think Carolina will handily win this football game. The New York Giants haven't looked good. Got blown out against Los Angeles Rams at home just last week. And I don't think it's going to be pretty in this one either. Carolina's defense is still very good. In the offense, they have weapons. Sam Darnold, is he their Achilles heel at this moment? You know, we'll have to wait and see. But I think they're going to get it done.
Yeah, I think, especially answering that question with Matt Rule coming out this week, the head coach saying that they want to reestablish themselves in the running game. You know, I think we're going to look for Chuba Hubbard to have a really big game here. And, that 3.5, I think they're going to crush it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really think so. I think we're going to see
3.5 too, yeah.
I really think we're going to see bad Daniel Jones in this game, even with a 43. That's a really low total on the season. But, Carolina, I mean, even if we see Stephon Gilmore in this game, they have no pass catchers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to be
effective?
Who's going to be effective? Like we said last week, we didn't know what Devontae Burker could do. He did it for fantasy owners. So, you know what I mean? I mean, just in general, I think he's going to do the same thing here. There's going to be a lot of pressure with that Carolina front with Burns. I got Carolina 3.5, period.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Carolina 27. New York Giants 13 points. I got them winning by 2 scores.
I see it.
We'll move on to the next game. Kansas City on the road against Tennessee Titans.
Oh, my gosh.
Kansas City -4.5 in this game. 57.5 over-under. And to be honest, I got to take the over in this one. I mean, Tennessee's just giving up points, even though they pulled out a great victory last week against Buffalo. Still 30-30. And there's no. Do you think Kansas City's going to score under 30 points? I don't see that. So for me, I got to take the over in this game. I like Kansas City on the money line because I think they need to win more importantly than Tennessee Titans. To be honest, Tennessee's coming off a big win at home against a good Buffalo team. They're riding high. How many teams we seen riding high off wins and then lose? We saw the Buffalo Bills do it. We saw the Los Angeles Rams do it. Maybe it's the Titans this week. So I'm going to take the Chiefs on the money line, and I got it 33-31 Kansas City.
Here's my thing. Patrick Mahomes and all these guys look good and everything like that. But we know Tyreek Hill has been limited with a quad all week, and Travis Kelce just got cleared to play today. So they're obviously banged up with the prolific pass attack that they, their normal targets.
Yeah.
We've seen the AFC South leading Tennessee Titans win a game against Buffalo. I don't think there's nothing that I can respect on Kansas City's defense.
No, me neither.
Whatsoever.
Me neither.
And if Julio Jones plays this game, I think Julio Jones sees a touchdown in this game. And Antonio Brown and Henry. Man, I got Tennessee Titans at home to upset.
Okay.
Money line.
I understand. I'm going to take the money line on the other side with Kansas City. I just think
it's a given, right?
I think the Chiefs need to win more.
Even though the Chiefs, have been limited in practice, Tennessee Titans are down 2 D-backs. That is very concerning. How can you stop Tyreek Hill? Obviously, you know what I mean? But can they stop Derrick Henry? Nobody has so far.
I don't think
That's
so,
going
and that's
to
why I
eat the
think
clock up.
it's going to come down to the last play of the game, and that's why I have it 33-31. I think Kansas City pulls it out with a field goal to win it.
If it comes out last play of the game, the 4.5, you taking Tennessee then? 4.5.
Yeah, but I got Kansas City on the money line. I think Kansas City's going to win. So I'd rather take my shots with Kansas City Chiefs.
I feel it.
So we'll move on to the next matchup. That's honestly one of the games of the week, to be honest. So we'll move on to the next matchup, Detroit Lions.
We might as well just stop.
On the road against the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams favored by 16.5.
It's a big number.
50.5 over under. I have it under personally because I think the Rams are not going to give up that many points to the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, to be honest, just look like a complete dumpster fire at this point. You know what I mean? Like Jared Goff, you got your coach calling him out. You seen the 4th down play. 4th down. You need to get a first down. Jared Goff sees the flag thrown, and he already knows it's a hold, so it's already against him. And Jared Goff doesn't even try to make a play. He just throws the ball out of bounds. And then he goes down and he sits and takes a drink. And that's what it showed on the screen. And I'm just thinking to myself, it doesn't look like Goff wants to be there. And I understand he's on a losing football team.
He cannot want to be there. But can he be motivated enough to play this game and cover this 16.5? No, they're not going to win this game.
I know.
I think he's going to throw a lot.
Okay.
This is one of the games that I will take in the teaser. And we're talking about teasers real quick before I get into the LA Rams. I'm going to tease that 6 points down to LA Rams, Kansas City Chiefs, and Green Bay Packers. You know what I'm saying? 3-team teaser. You're going to chicken dinner. Easy. It is what it is. But back to this game. There is also a motivation for Matthew Stafford against his former team.
Yes.
And Cooper
and
Kupp,
Sean McVay.
Cooper Kupp, these guys are doing what they're doing. It seemed like it's clockwork. I think that Darrell Henderson's going to have a big day. Cooper Kupp, especially Matthew Stafford, is going to have a big day in this game. And Aaron Darnold probably. You know what I'm saying? They want to hit this guy in the mouth and let him know this is the reason why you got traded.
Yeah.
I'm taking the LA Rams in this game any way you can think of it. Like I said, I'm going to tease it down to 10.5 with the teaser.
Yeah.
But I will take LA Rams 16.5 right now against the Detroit Kittens.
Yeah, absolutely. I have the same 16.5. I got the under on this game, to be honest, because I don't think the Detroit
Lions. If they beat them
38-0
is over. It's under.
I'm telling you. So the Rams, I have it 34-17, something like that. Pretty much doubling them up in this game. And there's no way around it. They're going to win the football game. You want to take a guaranteed bet?
Where's the garbage time going to come from?
It's
from what players? I
don't
see this shit happening.
So we'll move on to the next matchup. Philadelphia Eagles on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a pick 'em in my opinion because Philadelphia can show up in some of these matchups.
Yeah.
Las Vegas Raiders favored at -3.5. The over/under is 49. I like the over because I think both these defenses, as decent as they are, they give up a lot of points. They just do in certain matchups. I like the Raiders in this game. I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna buy a point down at 2.5 because I'm thinking they're gonna win by a field goal. So it's gonna come down to the wire. I think Philly's gonna try and push their way back like they've done for the last 4 or 5 weeks. The Raiders have been susceptible to teams pushing back too, So, but I'm gonna take the Raiders here. I just think They're the better football team and more sound football team. I think Philly's got a lot of problems that they still haven't worked out on offense, and we know the defense has struggled. They lost Brandon Graham in the middle. They've given up a lot to running backs. The secondary's one of their strong suits. Darius Slay still a great corner piece, plain and simple, but I like the Raiders to win this game by a field goal, 27-24, the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders have been playing pretty well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Philly has been playing pretty well, too, on the road. The Raiders on the pass defense, when they go against really good, elite kind of wide receivers, then they tend to give it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, maybe they can cover here. I mean, Philly, too, on the same side of the boat. You know what I mean?
Similar team.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're pretty much equivalent to each other. I don't know if Philadelphia loses by 4 points. I really don't. So I would lean on taking Philly 3.5, but I think the Raiders win money line 155. I'm gonna take it.
Okay, yeah, we're on the same boat. I like the Raiders, and I'm gonna buy the point down to get it to 2.5. So we'll move on to the next matchup. Houston Texans on the road against the Arizona Cardinals, the undefeated Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah,
minus 17.5 in this game. They're minus 17.5, and it's only a 47.5.
I think they're gonna get smothered, man.
Houston coming off a bad game. They scored, I think, 3 points against the Indianapolis Colts on the road, and it's just not looking pretty for the Houston Texans.
You don't believe in the David Johnson revenge game?
No, I mean by no means. Actually, I believe in the DeAndre Hopkins revenge game, if anything. So,
and neither does his mother.
Yeah, of course. So, what could you say about the Arizona Cardinals? They played great. They beat very good teams. Yes, they've given up some points in spots, and that's my only worry with the big spread. Because they have given up 30-point games. They gave up 30 points, I want to say, to Minnesota. They've given up even some points to Jacksonville, kind of. So I worry about the big spread, and especially being the over-under so low. I mean, 47.5, what is it, 30-10? You know what I mean? Something like that. It's not looking pretty. So I'm going to take Arizona at the 17.5 because I think they're just going to dominate this football game.
Even if they give up numbers, they're 5-1 against the number right now. You know what I mean? 5-1 on the spread, 6-0. Number 4 offense, 32 points a game. Number 10 defense, bro. If this ain't chicken dinner, I don't know what it is. I'm taking Arizona. I mean, betting wise, I'll probably stay away from it a bit. 17.5 is really high, and the money line is stupid. You know what I mean? Who's the no? They could beat them 48-0 here. You know what I mean? So who knows if it could be over or under. Ultimately, I got Arizona winning this game. I would just lean 17.5. You know what I mean? They've been playing pretty good. They have no real injuries. Why not take the undefeated team here, Arizona Cardinals? They're they're the best in football.
Yes, I learned my lesson last week. I took a lot of dogs on big spreads, thinking, oh, well, it's 10 points. And it was like the blowouts of the week was last week. Every team got blown out. So I'm not going to buy into that this week. Even though I think Houston could somehow pull it close, I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals. I got 37-17, beating them by 20 points. And
I mean, Arizona, if you want to tease this down to 11.5, I would kind of feel comfortable there. But, other than that, I'm going to stay away from this game betting. But Arizona gonna win this game. Let's be real. 7-0. Let's go.
Yeah, of course. So let's move on. We got Chicago Bears on the road against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay favored by minus 12.5, and the 47 over under.
Oh my God, I'm looking at that money line though. What if Houston finds a way to win that game?
I know. Yeah, plus
oh
930.
My God,
yeah,
that would just kill. Vegas would just go home.
Yeah, of course.
Rest of the season is all good.
It's not going to happen. There's no way in hell. But anyway, Chicago at Tampa.
Let's go.
I'll tell you right now, I got to take the under in this game. I think Chicago's defense has played very, very well.
It's another good line.
And I think it's going to be under. I like the under in the game. And then on top of that, Tampa. 12.5 is kind of scary for me for the fact that Tampa just seems to be floating along. They're not playing great football.
On the road.
But they're so good.
But at home, they're a different animal.
I understand, but AB's out. So that hurts that offense a little bit. Chicago's defense isn't bad. It's not horrible. And so do I think Chicago can hang in this game? Not necessarily, because I worry about the offense and Justin Fields. I've struggled a lot this year taking rookie quarterbacks and taking chances in good matchups and then dudding out, You saw Jalen Hurts. He struggled against this Tampa Bay defense.
Listen here, B.
For
Scott.
3 quarters.
I think we both know Tampa gonna win this game.
Yes.
But if we're betting, let's say we move this line 6 points. Could you back a Chicago 18.5?
I don't know.
Could you back Tampa 6.5?
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is a good one to tease. Obviously, it's at Raymond James. Tampa's going to win this game, bro. Like,
Yes.
I don't see... Leonard Fournette has been looking really good. They're using him in the pass game, using him in the run game, eating up the clock. Ronald Jones, they've gotten rid of this character right now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And still, as a third down mover, you know what I mean? He's still going to be very effective. A guy that they're not game planning against. AB, Gronk out of this game. Huge red zone targets. But this is a game where, you know, the bounce back, where Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, do they work?
They should
all
feast.
pros. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Tyler
should.
Johnson be activated for this game.
Yes.
And maybe little Scotty Miller just sees the end zone in this one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He showed up in games prior to AB being signed in this one. And maybe we get him activated here. I don't see the GOAT losing this game. But like the betting structure, like what I'm saying, like 6.5, I'm going to take Tampa by a touchdown.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah. If you're teasing it, I'm fine. I'm going to take the 12.5, even though I necessarily don't like it.
Yes.
And the money line's too big to take, you know? So if I was betting, it's like, I mean, it's hard to throw a money line in there. And like you said, in teasers, it's a perfect spot here.
Yeah.
But Tampa Bay is going to win the game.
Yeah.
We know that. So
Period.
we'll move on. Indianapolis Colts on Sunday Night Football. On the
We
road
might defer here.
against the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco, minus 4.5 in this game. Over under at 44. We live in California. Sunday's supposed to be a heavy rain, plain and simple. So I'm going to take the under in this game of 44. I think that there's going to be possible weather. There's going to be a lot of ground game. Might be a little slower pace. And I'm going to take the Colts at plus 4.5.
Yeah, I was thinking
And
that
I'm
too.
taking that because I don't necessarily think the Niners are going to blow out the Colts. Colts played pretty good football. They lost a heartbreaker really to Baltimore.
I think
then
they're-
they come out and stomp the Houston Texans. I think they're moving in the right direction.
I really think they're equivalent to each other right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Given the Niners should be a better football team, but the injuries and the concerns, that's a topic for another show.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got to mention it. You know what I'm saying? They're not at full strength, and neither are these Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, especially on defense.
Yeah, especially at the quarterback position. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The guy don't have ankles right now. But he's getting rid of the ball effectively and doing what he do. Jonathan Taylor looked like a monster last week, which we expected him to do.
Yes.
You know, the running game. Which one decides which team? If you had to pick a running game right now, that would be the Colts. So I'm gonna take the Colts with the upset. I think the Colts win this game. It's not that I hate the Niners. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, we've seen in the past, like, especially this season. Let's not even go back to last season. Which, by the way, if I had to nudge, George Kittle hasn't scored a touchdown in a year,
Okay.
but he's out of this game, so it'll be over a year. The running game is non-existent against Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner, who came from the San Francisco 49ers. What are we gonna see? We got a three-headed monster. We got Marlon Mack still on the team. We still got Jonathan Taylor. We got Nyheim Hines. Short game is there. I think that, you know, the Indianapolis Colts could come out with this victory, even if it's small. I don't really like the 4.5. Maybe a field goal. So I'm just going to take them to win this game. 44. I don't know. It can be under that. But I cannot shut the Niners out of this game. Jimmy's back in this game. So at least Deebo Samuels will be completely activated. You know what I mean? Completely ready to run around. But again, it's a rain game. I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, I got the Colts 23-20. I got them winning by a field goal.
There we go.
Same thing.
That's what
So
I'm saying. That 4.5 is like, I don't know about that.
yeah,
I'll buy the points down if I wanted to.
yeah. So we'll move to Monday Night Football, where the New Orleans Saints are favored on the road against Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, no Russell Wilson in this game. Saints favored
Drew
by
Brees.
minus 4.5. I'm telling you, over under a 42.5. I like the over in this game personally because I still think there's going to be points to be scored in this game. We saw it last week with Seattle. They put 20 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like 20 points against the Saints here. The Saints actually are getting healthier on defense, which is good. Their offense still, to me, doesn't impress. They haven't really established the run necessarily. And we know Alvin Kamara is not really a north-south downhill runner, and he's been carrying the ball a lot. Now, yes, coming off a great game before the bye, where they utilized him in the pass game, had an explosive day. And Jameis, we know, can be accurate downfield at times. So against the Seattle secondary, I'll be
pretty much 50% of the time, because they can throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yeah, of course. So for me personally, I like the Saints on the money line just because the 4.5. Now look, the score, I got them winning by a touchdown, but I just think the 4.5 really puts me off. So I'm gonna take the money line with the Saints here. I think they're gonna be able to get it done on the road.
If I don't buy a 1.5 and like break the bank, I'm gonna go over.
Yeah,
I think 42.5 is a little bit too, under the total. Like we just said, it was 20-20 in the overtime in the Pittsburgh game with Seattle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? With Geno Smith at the helm, he held Pittsburgh to 20 points. So, you know what I mean? And
on the road, yeah.
Yeah,
so.
You know what I mean? So I feel like, they got Rashard Penny activated for this game. They could at least run the ball a little bit like how they like to do it. You know,
they don't like Alex Collins.
They don't like him. You know what I mean? It just is.
No
what
one
it
likes
is.
that guy.
Are the New Orleans Saints defense the same New Orleans defense that we've known for the last 2 years?
It's not, but they play pretty well on the season.
Yeah. They play well, but they're not that kind of team. 4.5, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna take Seattle to win.
Okay.
At home. Against the 12th man.
I totally understand. You mean the Saints, right?
No, the 12th man.
Okay, you got the
Seattle.
12th man. You got Seattle to win. Okay, we're split on that one. I got the Saints. I'm going to take the money line. I think they're going to be able to get it done.
All right.
So, anyway, that's been the Week 7 matchups, our picks against the spread for every single matchup heading into Week 7. So, once again, if you like the video, don't forget, subscribe, share, thumb bell, all that good stuff, and then comment. If you have any discrepancies, you want to talk to us about any game or anything, drop in the comment section. We'll be glad to get back to you.
And, of course, Week 7, 6 teams on bye. I know you hate picking these picks, but we love football. Yeah. And that's what it is.
Of course.
First for now, baby.